Let me hear you say KO. Competition can't move me. Wrong's one thing, you won't prove me. Bruce Lee, rhymes take a slug through your front two teeth. 1, 2, 3. Let me hear you say KO.
What's up, Kilo, MaddenStudents.com. Bringing you guys a custom mini scheme for NCAA 13, and the formation that we're going to use is gun, normal, halfback, weak. I'm going to go through the custom real quick just to show you what plays to put in, what plays not to put in, so that you get the same audible setup that I have. This scheme is actually pretty fun to use, and as long as you're patient with it and actually take what the defense gives you instead of trying to force shit, it's pretty good. First play that we're going to put in is buck sweep. We're also going to have flanker screen. Then we're going to have halfback counter, halfback mid-draw, play action cross. You can switch that out with a different play action play if you like something else better. Not really a big fan of too many of the play action plays, honestly, from this this formation. But that's the one I use. So, I mean, if you like something different, feel free to sub it in. Then the next play that we're going to add into it is going to be slot shake. And then we're going to add strike halfback seam. And then finally switch. And those are going to be the plays that you use in the custom. Then as far as audibles go, basically what you want to set up in your audibles is you want to have halfback counter, buck sweep, flanker screen from this formation. Your other two audibles can be whatever you want. I recommend using some sort of a power run set. I like strong tight, so strong eye tight I use halfback sweep counter weak as the audibles. But you know, whatever you want for the last two. It doesn't have to be, you know, anything special. But the three that you need are buck sweep, halfback counter, and flanker screen from the gun, normal, halfback, weak formation. So we're going to go into practice mode. We're going to use Texas. Texas has the best man coverage in the game, in my opinion. So hopefully this will give you guys a good estimation of, you know, what exactly you can expect. I've heard a lot of commentators recently jumping on the practice mode isn't a good representation of what actually happens in games. And honestly, I mean, it never has been. So I don't really understand why this year makes it any different. You know, but most of the stuff that works in practice mode is going to work in the game. If something is ultra glitchy, then you're going to have to like check it, you know, in game to make sure. First play we're going to run is this halfback strike halfback seam. Basically, all we're going to do is we're going to send our right receiver in one step of motion. You put the tight end on a whip route, and we're going to be looking for the halfback. That's who we're actually looking for. You throw an inside lead, and he usually will lose his man. You go get the, you know, click on, make the catch. Sometimes you don't have to click on, but I would recommend getting in the habit of doing it. It just makes things a lot easier. And then if for some reason that gets taken away, I would just look to the whip route as it starts to separate from his man. Most of the time, though, that route is going to be there on the inside. You could also throw the C routes if they're not in two-man under. Two-man under, they jump those pretty well, though, so I'd stay away from it. That's play number one. Play number two in the scheme is going to be, I believe this is slot shake, and once again, we're gonna run this against dime just to get the extra DBs on the field. But you want to put that outside receiver on a drag and motion him and snap the ball before one step, and you'll see he gets that really glitchy inside release, and it just they don't stay with him. So you know, that's always a positive thing. Streak the tight end to clear out some space for the crossing route coming across. And basically, we're making a two-man read between the drag and the slot shake route. One of the two of them is pretty much always going to be open. If for some reason it's not, I would look to check back on the backside to the curl. There's a quality throw by Mr. Ash. Should have put the other quarterback in to do this. But in any event, you can see he gets the separation on the drag, and then he also gets the separation coming back across the field on the shake route. So it's going to be very hard for them to defend that. The shake route should be open at some point. Your biggest obstacle is going to be getting the ball out in time before there's a blitz. If there is a blitz, though, chances are they're going to be coming with 6 or 0 blitzing at the very least, you know what I mean, with no deep help. So just keep that in mind. The third play that we're going to be taking a look at is going to be switch. This play is probably my favorite out of all of them because it has the most options and it also beats zone better than the rest. So basically, same thing, put the receiver on a drag, motion him in, and then we're going to make a two-man read over the middle between the tight end who's on a little shake route and the motion drag. Then the other thing that we can do from this formation is we can hit the running back out of the backfield just as he makes his break up field. That's going to be there, especially with the guys that like to get overly aggressive with the user that's on the running back. So if they start using that linebacker to take away the middle, that's when you want to start pounding outside to that running back quick out of the backfield. He's going to be good for probably like a good 4 to 5 yards a catch. Once in a while you might get something bigger, but for the most part, that right there is what you can expect throwing that route. But this is easily my favorite play, guys. It's so much. There's so many routes that open up. That deep corner also gets good separation against man and zone because it's on like an angle. So they just they don't always pick it up so well. So then the next play we're going to look at is going to be the flanker screen the play action cross. I apologize. Again, guys, I don't really use the play action much, but basically I use this one because the receiver gets good separation. You just put the running back on a flat route to the backside, and then if you want, you can put the outside receiver on a drag and motion him as well. And you'll also get the the two little glitchy crossing routes to pick from here. The running back on the drag seems to give the tight end a little bit of space on his man, so sometimes he can beat him backside. But I've noticed that the linebacker gets psychic a lot, so try to be wary of that. The linebacker pays attention to what he's doing and jumps it. You don't want to throw that. I would stick to the crossing routes. They just seem to be a lot easier to get off. They open up against zone well as also. So something to run there, like regardless of the defense that they're in. And it's going to be pretty hard for him to use your two crossing routes. Basically, they're going to have to start dropping a lot of zones on the D line, and when they start doing that, then we'll start getting into the the running from this formation, which is pretty good. So. Good throw there again, Mr. Ash. Ash is a beast, bro. He goes in with the bad throws. If you're using Texas, strongly recommend you use Connor Brewer, Bonner, some shit like that. If he's too slow for you, maybe Chase McCoy, but his throw power is pretty bad. So here we are on the flanker screen, and with the flanker screen, all we're going to do is set up a truth screen, guys, or whoever invented that concept. I forget who invented it, but truth is pretty well known for it from last year, so we'll say it's the truth screen. Put the running back on an out route to the right, streak the receiver, and then just get it to him quick so that he can get behind his blockers. Like, you don't want to wait for him to get all the way out to the sideline because they will react to it. And sometimes this will get blown up in the backfield if you miss time to throw. So you want to make sure that you're getting the ball out quickly to him just as he passes the quarterback. Then the last thing we're going to do from this formation is we're going to show the runs. First run is going to be the counter. Counters from gun this year, guys, are, at least in NCAA anyway, are ridiculous. The counters from guns are probably the most consistent shotgun running I've seen. You're going to get a consistent 5 yards from it unless they run commit or manually blow it up. So quality running from the counter. Then the second run that we're going to be looking at is going to be the halfback draw. Halfback draw I don't really run too very often, but once in a while I like to sneak it in, especially if they start dropping off the D-line into zones from the from the passing from this formation. So always throw it in there once in a while just to keep them honest. It doesn't have to be something you run a lot, but it's not a bad thing to run. And then the last thing that we're going to look at run-wise is going to be the buck sweep. Now the buck sweep is like that take a chance run. Because a lot of times this will get blown up in the backfield. When it doesn't get blown up in the backfield, it's typically a huge gain. So always want to run it against like a stacked box so that you can get outside. If the defense is really spread out like dime quarters, I wouldn't even bother because most likely you're going to have somebody coming off the edge that rapes you in the backfield. So just something to think about as far as the run game goes. Again, this is like probably one of those runs where you're taking a risk. So I wouldn't run it in a crucial situation. I would run the counter in, like a must-pick-up situation. But once in a while, you sneak that buck sweep in there, especially if they start run committing left to the counter. Then you can, throw the buck sweep in there and break it for a huge gain. So I hope you guys enjoyed this scheme. If you want, leave in the comments section another formation that you'd like to see, and I'll try to do that next time. As always, guys, check out www.MaddenStudents.com for more tips, tricks, strategies, and more. Thanks for watching. Peace.
1, 2, 3, let me hear you say KO. Competition can't move me. Wrong's one thing you won't prove me. Bruce Lee.